Have you ever noticed how a casino can shift your mood in minutes? The lights feel bright, the sounds feel urgent, and your decisions follow instantly. Yet nothing has changed in the odds. That paradox is the point of today's deep psychological breakdown. We'll unpack why casino rituals, sensory cues, and near misses hijack emotions so fast. Players don't just chase money, they chase a feeling that the environment promises. When you sit down, your brain treats cues like signals. The game is about to happen. That primes dopamine-related anticipation before you even place a bet. The internal shift happens because your nervous system learns from repetition, not logic. Then the casino doesn't need to persuade you, it only needs to trigger you. Before a bet, anticipation often feels like certainty, even when it shouldn't. Your mind compresses time and converts possibility into expectation, almost like a prophecy. Behavioral economists describe this as an overweighting of potential outcomes over base rates. So the maybe starts to feel like soon, and soon starts to feel like deserved. That's how calm thinking gets replaced by a narrow emotional tunnel. Almost winning is one of the cleanest traps because it rewards effort without satisfying relief. A near miss carries the meaning of so close, which your brain interprets as corrective feedback. Instead of learning, it failed, your mind updates to try again, then it will click. This is tied to reward prediction error, where the system reacts to unexpected closeness. And the next impulse feels less like greed and more like correction. After losing, the urge to return is not random, it's designed by psychology. Your emotions need coherence, and losing breaks it abruptly. The brain then searches for a path back to equilibrium, often through a quick repeat. That pattern resembles the break-even thinking in loss aversion, where pain demands reversal. So the next bet starts as an attempt to fix reality, not to pursue pleasure. Wanting to win can start to look like preparing for winning, not gambling at all. You feel tense, focused, and strangely productive, as if concentration earns fate. That's dopamine anticipation turning into a motivational engine, not a warning light. At this moment, the sensation of effort becomes proof that something will pay off. And that proof is emotional, not statistical. People often believe they control the pace, even when randomness controls the outcome. Switching games, tapping buttons, choosing amounts, or watching reels can feel like steering. Yet these actions mostly change your experience of waiting, not the probability itself. This is an illusion of control, strengthened by variable rewards that appear responsive. When your brain misreads the system, you feel agency where none exists. Probability gets distorted most when your mind starts comparing the present to the deserved story. After a streak, players may assume fairness will restore itself immediately. That's the gambler's fallacy, a belief that randomness becomes meaningful under observation. Random events don't correct each other, but your narrative brain keeps trying. So the next bet gets wrapped in an imagined pattern, and odds feel irrelevant. Random reinforcement is especially powerful because it doesn't reward every action evenly. Unpredictable rewards train your attention to stay engaged longer. Intermittent fishing. The uncertainty comes fuel, not friction, because the brain keeps checking. This produces a slow shift from choice to compulsion, one interval at a time. By the time you notice, your attention has already been captured. Interestingly, tension itself can feel like engagement, almost like progress. Physiological arousal makes your experience vivid, and vivid feels important. So the shaking anticipation begins to masquerade as insight, clarity, or momentum. But it's just your body on alert, interpreting sensations as guidance. That is why the session intensifies while your judgment quietly deteriorates. Afterward, shame often shows up, and it's not always about losing money. It can be about the gap between who you wanted to be and what you did in the moment. That shame then tempts new mental escape, rationalizing the repeat as necessary. You might tell yourself the next round will prove you weren't careless. That internal justification keeps the cycle alive even when you feel regret. During a serious run, many people lose the feeling of real time and real context. The senses narrow, decisions become faster, and responsibility becomes fuzzy. This is similar to dissociation under stress, where attention shrinks to immediate cues. You stop noticing your mood changing because the environment keeps supplying urgency. Then the session feels like one continuous state, not a series of choices. The hardest distinction is between pleasure and compulsion, because both can feel exciting. Pleasure leaves room for stopping, checking in, and choosing. Compulsion feels like pressure, where stopping creates discomfort instead of calm. Your mind keeps returning because the brain is trained to relieve tension through action. That's when the fun becomes a mechanism, and the mechanism becomes the driver. So the fast emotional shift isn't magic, it's conditioning plus cognitive misreading. Lights and sounds cue anticipation, near misses create corrective meaning, and losses demand reversal. Intermittent reinforcement keeps attention locked, while rituals reduce the sense of reality. The most dangerous part is how quietly your thinking changes right before you notice it. If you've recognized yourself, pause for one honest question. What did the environment make you feel? That awareness can interrupt the automatic loop before it tightens again. Subscribe for more psychological breakdowns of gambling behavior and the invisible rules behind them. Because these mechanisms don't shout, they synchronize with your emotions and decisions.